Our planet is filled with wonders, but some places defy all logic. Where compasses spin wildly, entire ships vanish without a trace, and ancient structures were built with impossible precision. These are not myths, these are real locations that have stumped scientists for decades. Welcome to Deep Dive Documentary, where we uncover the truth behind the world's most unsolvable mysteries. 1. The Bermuda Triangle, the ocean's deadliest secret. Stretching between Miami, Bermuda, and Puerto Rico, this 500,000 square mile danger zone has swallowed over 1,000 ships and planes. But here's what makes it truly terrifying. Many disappearances leave no wreckage. No distress signals, just silence. Key cases. Flight 19, 1945, 5 U.S. Navy bombers vanished mid-flight. The final radio transmission? We are entering white water, nothing seems right. SS Marine Sulphur Queen, 1963. A 500-foot tanker disappeared with 39 crew, only a single life jacket was found. Ellen Austin, 1881. A ship encountered a ghost vessel in the Triangle, boarding crews later vanished without explanation. Top scientific theories. Methane gas explosions, bubbles from the ocean floor could sink ships instantly. Electromagnetic anomalies, compasses go haywire here, could natural forces disrupt navigation? 2. The door to hell, Turkmenistan's eternal fire pit. In 1971, Soviet geologists drilled into what they thought was an oil field. Instead, they opened a gateway to hell itself. The ground collapsed, releasing poisonous gas, so they set it on fire, expecting it to burn out in weeks. 50 years later, the inferno still rages. Creepy facts: the crater is 230 feet wide and 100 feet deep, hot enough to melt lead. Locals report ghostly figures dancing in the flames at night. Scientists warn the fire could burn for centuries due to unlimited methane. 3. The Nazca Lines, Peru's alien blueprint. Carved into Peru's desert over 2,000 years ago, these 900-plus giant drawings are only visible from the sky. But here's the mystery. The Nazca had no aeroplanes, no drones, so how did they design these with perfect symmetry? Unsolved questions. How? The lines were made by removing dark volcanic rock to reveal lighter sand beneath, but some stretch 30 miles without a single error. Why? Some align with solstices, others depict unknown animals not native to Earth. Alien theory. Ancient astronaut theorists claim the astronaut figure resembles a spacesuit. 4. The Dyatlov Pass incident, Russia's frozen nightmare. 9 skilled hikers fled their tents in -30 degrees Celsius weather, barefoot. When rescuers found them, their bodies were horrifically mutilated, missing eyes, crushed ribs, and one woman's tongue was gone. The official report? An unknown compelling force, gruesome details, radiation traces were found on their clothes. 2 victims had fatal internal injuries, but no external wounds. A nearby expedition reported orange spheres in the sky that night. Top theories. Secret military test, were they exposed to a classified weapon? Altercation with something? Footprints suggested a standoff outside the tent. Infrasound panic, could wind have created a fear frequency driving them mad? 5. The Taos hum, the unexplained global sound. Since the 1990s, residents of Taos, New Mexico, have reported a low-frequency hum that never stops. But here's the twist, only 2% of the population can hear it, and it's been reported worldwide. Is it government tech? Earth's resonance? or something else? Key facts. The hum is compared to a distant diesel engine, but no source has ever been found. Similar reports in England, Australia, and Canada, always been isolated to small areas. Sufferers report insomnia, nausea, and even suicidal thoughts from the noise. 6. The stone spheres of Costa Rica, ancient precision. Deep in Costa Rica's jungles lie 300+ near-perfect stone spheres, some weighing 16 tons. Carved over 1,500 years ago, their purpose is unknown. But the real mystery: how did ancient people make them so flawlessly round? Mind-blowing details: the spheres are 96% perfectly spherical, a precision unmatched until modern machining. Some were found half buried in patterns, possibly a star map or calendar. Local legends say they're Titans' marbles or Atlantean artifacts. 7. Eternal Flame Falls. Tucked away in a serene corner of Chestnut Ridge Park in western New York lies a marvel so small, it's easy to miss, yet so mysterious, it's captured the imagination of geologists and hikers alike. This is the Eternal Flame Falls, a modest 30-foot cascade that conceals something astonishing, a naturally burning flame, flickering behind the veil of flowing water. The science and the puzzle. At first glance, the flame seems almost magical, but it's very real. The secret lies beneath your feet, in the shale rock that encases trapped pockets of natural gas. Through tiny fractures in the bedrock, this gas seeps to the surface, providing a steady fuel source. What makes this phenomenon so unique isn't just that the gas escapes, it's that it burns in a damp, oxygen-poor, and constantly wet environment. If you are enjoying this video, take 20 seconds to subscribe and like the video to encourage us. Thank you. Now let's continue with the video. The Eternal Flame. Not so eternal. Despite its name, the Eternal Flame is not entirely self-sustaining. Strong winds or heavy rain can extinguish it, and it often needs to be manually reignited by hikers using matches or lighters. But here's the twist: the composition and temperature of the gas emerging from this flame are highly unusual. In most cases, natural gas is formed deep underground at very high temperatures, hundreds of degrees Celsius. But studies of the Eternal Flame's gas suggest it's formed at relatively low temperatures, a geochemical anomaly that doesn't quite align with conventional models. This raises questions about whether there might be unknown mechanisms at play, perhaps microbial life, or a previously unrecognized geological process. Beyond the science, Eternal Flame Falls is a symbol of wonder. It attracts curious adventurers, nature lovers, and spiritual seekers alike. But it's also a reminder of how fragile such phenomena are. Overuse of the trail, littering, and disrespectful tourism could threaten its delicate ecosystem. The Eternal Flame is a quiet paradox, fire born of earth and hidden behind water. A place where the elements converge, and where mystery continues to burn, literally. In a world where much has been explained, this little flame whispers a message we need to hear more often: some mysteries are meant to be preserved, not solved. 8. Crooked Forest. Nestled just outside the small village of Nowe Czarnowo in western Poland lies a botanical mystery that has baffled scientists, foresters, and visitors for decades. This is the Crooked Forest, or in Polish, Krzwywy las, a small grove of pine trees that defy nature with their strange and unsettling shape. What makes it so strange? Roughly 400 trees, all planted around the 1930s, share a bizarre trait: their trunks take an almost perfect 90-degree bend at the base, curving sideways before shooting upward like normal trees. Even more mysterious? The bend is uniform. Every tree curves in the same direction, at a similar angle, and begins the bend at roughly the same height, about 10 to 15 inches off the ground. Theories and speculations. There are no official records of why or how this happened. But that hasn't stopped the theories from growing as wildly as the trees themselves. Theory 1. Human intervention. The most common theory suggests that local farmers or craftsmen deliberately manipulated the young saplings, possibly using weights or wooden braces, to shape them for a specific purpose, like crafting curved boat hulls or furniture. But the outbreak of World War II halted many local industries, and if shaping the trees was the plan, it was likely never completed, leaving behind a frozen experiment. Theory 2. Heavy snow damage. Another theory posits that a heavy snowstorm flattened the saplings soon after they were planted. As they recovered, they grew upward again, but with a permanent curve. However, skeptics point out that snow damage would create random directions and angles, not the consistent northward bend seen here. Theory 3. A natural anomaly. Some more speculative ideas include gravitational anomalies, magnetic field interference, or even extraterrestrial involvement, though there's no hard evidence to support these claims. From a biological standpoint, the trees are perfectly healthy. Their growth rings show no signs of disease or trauma beyond the initial curve. They've simply grown this way, obedient to some unknown force or forgotten intention. Attempts to replicate the formation in similar conditions have yielded inconsistent results, further deepening the mystery. Today, the Crooked Forest is a quiet sanctuary of wonder. It's not a bustling tourist hotspot, just a quiet patch of pine that whispers questions to those who visit. Why were these trees shaped this way? Was it craftsmanship lost to time? Nature's strange experiment? Or something even stranger still? 9. The Devil's Kettle, the waterfall that disappears. In the north woods of Minnesota, where the forest is thick and the wilderness untamed, a curious river does something nature isn't supposed to do. It vanishes. And for years, no one knew where it went. This is Devil's Kettle, a geological puzzle located in Judge C.R. McNary State Park. The Brule River flows peacefully until it reaches this dramatic split. One side of the water behaves as expected, the other pours into a gaping hole in the rock, never to be seen again. For decades, scientists and curious visitors tried to solve the mystery. Ping-pong balls, colored dyes, sticks, all dropped into the kettles with the hope they'd reappear downstream. But nothing ever did. The water just vanished. No bubbling spring. No trace downstream. No resurfacing objects. It was as if the earth had swallowed it whole. The theories. What could cause this phenomenon? Geologists proposed a few theories. Theory 1. Underground lava tubes or tunnels. Some speculated that the water flowed into ancient volcanic formations, disappearing into hidden lava tubes or deep fissures formed during glacial retreats. Theory 2. Subterranean caves. Another idea was that the kettle was connected to a vast underground cave system, channeling water to an unseen outlet, possibly into Lake Superior, miles away. But there was a catch. Minnesota's bedrock is mostly hard basalt, not the kind that typically supports large cave networks. And that only deepened the mystery. The breakthrough. In recent years, hydrologists from the Minnesota Department of Natural Resources decided to settle the debate once and for all, using advanced dye tracing techniques. In 2016, they poured a water-soluble dye into the kettle and monitored downstream with sensors. The result? The dye did reappear, but it took time and emerged downstream in the Brule River. Which means, the water didn't vanish, it just took a hidden path beneath the rock, rejoining the river further along. So, mystery solved? Sort of. Scientists now believe the Kettle connects to an underground chute or fissure that rejoins the river later on. But we still don't know exactly how the water gets there, the exact route, the geological mechanics, and the scale of the passage remain uncharted and inaccessible. And so, while we know where the water goes, the Devil's Kettle keeps its secrets, somewhat unwillingly revealed, but never fully surrendered. 10. Singing sand dunes, various locations. Across the world's deserts, where silence usually reigns, a haunting sound can sometimes be heard, like a distant chant, a deep hum, or even the resonant boom of an alien instrument. This is no mirage. You're hearing the strange and spectacular music of the singing sand dunes. These booming dunes, also called singing or whistling dunes, appear in deserts across the globe. Some of the most famous are found in the Sahara Desert in Morocco, the Bab el Jahran Desert in China, the Namib Desert in southern Africa, Death Valley in California, and even parts of the Middle East. But no matter where you are, the sound is always unforgettable, a deep, vibrating hum that can last for minutes. Scientists have studied this strange phenomenon for decades, and while there's no single answer, most agree on this. The dunes sing when dry sand grains slide down the slope of a steep dune, typically after a person, animal, or wind disturbance. But the big mystery is, why does only some sand sing, and others stay silent? It turns out the sound has to do with grain size, shape, and surface smoothness. The sand must be incredibly uniform, nearly all grains the same diameter, and bone dry. When enough of these grains tumble in unison, they create synchronized vibrations. It's like an orchestra of tiny instruments, tuned to one perfect note. Depending on the location, the song can be as low as 70 Hz, a deep rumble you feel in your chest, or as high as 1000 Hz, like a squeaking violin. Even with all this research, the singing dunes still hold secrets. Why do some dunes boom loudly while others whisper softly? And why do some dunes stop singing altogether over time? There are even ancient legends about these sounds, from desert spirits to lost armies buried beneath the sands. In the time of Marco Polo, explorers believed the dunes were haunted by invisible forces. In Chinese folklore, the sound was said to be the cries of ancient warriors. Whether you're a scientist with a sensor or a wanderer with a walking stick, there's something undeniably magical about hearing the earth sing. It's nature's own symphony, a harmony born of wind, heat, gravity, and time. From ghostly hums to hellfire craters, our world is far stranger than we think. Which mystery haunted you the most? Let us know below, and if you dare to dive deeper into the unknown, smash like, subscribe, and hit the bell, because the truth is out there.